What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Ballin' Out. Host Sean Robinson, co-host here, Grant Rhodes. Um, and from today, actually, we are days away from the season restarting. It's finally here. Scrimmages start, this week and stuff like that. So that's exciting as well. So we're gonna, keep going into that, the bubble life. Give you a couple updates on the players that have sat out, gotten injured, a couple guys that have gotten hurt lately, um, leaving. Then we're also gonna continue with the Western Conference breakdown. Um, Getting through one of those divisions in the Western Conference, and then MVP awards or not MVP awards, but NBA awards. Are gonna look into that. NBA came out and said, it's gonna be up until the hiatus, up until March 11th. So that'll be pretty good to look at as well. So pretty exciting episode for you guys today. That let's start. Just give an update on the bubble life. We've seen a couple guys sat out or not sat out, but leave the bubble for emergency reasons. We got Zion, we got Montrezl Harrell from the Clippers, Patrick Beverly, I believe, but those are the only, couple guys. Those key losses for those teams. But I mean, hopefully they come back soon and hopefully at first everything's okay for their family, of course. Hopefully they come back soon and make an impact. But you think regular season starts next week, obviously, they probably won't be there. You think the Pelicans especially, you think having no Zion will hurt their chances of making the playoffs?
Yeah, so first off, hopefully, the families, keep them in your prayers, keep them close. But definitely, I think, if the Pelicans were to go into the bubble without Zion, I mean, you look at the record without Zion, and then you look at the record with Zion. I mean, he was already noticeably making a big difference. Um, I mean, he's a player that can finish inside, unlike any other that we've seen. I mean, he has the ability at times to, step out and hit that three consistently. We saw in his debut, especially. I mean, he is an exciting player. He is fun to watch. I mean, definitely going to be missing Zion for the Pelicans. Do I think they make the playoffs with Zion? I don't. I don't think if there's no Zion, in these regular season games, I think they need to win, a good amount of them. And they do have an easier schedule, but I mean, you're talking no Zion. It's just a different type of energy for that team, and I don't know. There's already some good teams heading into this, this bubble as we speak of, and I don't know. I don't see the Pelicans getting it done if there's no Zion.
So no Zion, no playoffs for the Pelicans.
Zion, no playoffs.
Okay, yeah, I'm the same way. I honestly think it's gonna be between. I don't even think it's gonna be the Pelicans. Like they can have Zion. I think it's gonna be either the Blazers or the Grizzlies. Just because that Blazers team is looking ready and the Grizzlies already got that spot. But they'll definitely try to hold their own with Lonzo and Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram. We saw glimpses of them like improving uh, this season from last season and last couple seasons in LA. So I mean, Brandon Ingram made a leap. Like he's in discussion for most improved. So um, but I definitely think when Zion came back from injury earlier in the season, they definitely needed him and make that extra push. So I definitely agree with you there, right there. I don't think, you know, I think no Zion, no playoffs for them. It'll be pretty interesting to see, if he can come back, and also if the Pelicans can get that 9 seed, because if they can get that 9 seed, 4 games in, they can always go into a play-in game. So never know what's gonna happen, especially in this bubble. I've seen a lot of ESPN analysts and stuff like that say you don't know what's gonna happen. Like anything is possible in this bubble. So I mean, I agree. It's been 4 months without basketball, so it'll be exciting to see, what these guys can do. They've had practice for a week, and I said scrimmages start, so it'll be exciting to see what these guys can do. So, all right, so let's move on to the breakdown of the division. Today we're gonna do the Northwest Division, which includes the Denver Nuggets, Utah Jazz, OKC Thunder, Portland Trailblazers, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. So this division is pretty competitive. Just looking at it, just looking at the records, four of the five teams, are in the playoffs or in the bubble. I can say, we can say, with the Trailblazers trying to make it in. But this division has some deep competition. We all know about the Nuggets, what they've been doing these last couple seasons, with improving their team around Jokic and stuff like that. So let's actually start with the Nuggets. What do you this Nuggets team realistically is stacked. They made it last year to the Western Conference Semis against Portland, lost Game 7. They almost made it to the conference finals. Jokic, you've seen him, slim down. Everybody's like, that could be a scary sight. Him in Bowl, which I mean, it could be. You never know. What do you think about this Nuggets team?
I mean, this Nuggets team is deadly. Jokic is a beast down low. He's a beast outside. He's a beast playmaking. I mean, the man can do it all simply. Jamal Murray bringing the ball up is definitely a dangerous combo. Running that pick and roll with Jokic, pick and pop. I mean, that works very well. They got a good thing going on right there. And you mentioned Bol even, too. The kid's length is insane. His finishing ability has gotten so much better, and he's still so young. So, there's so much upside for him. And I just saw a clip actually, in the bubble, and he got a pass from Jokic, and I mean, I don't know how, but he put this thing in one-handed, like over top of another Nuggets player. So it was definitely something, something to see, some eye candy. But he's definitely a very exciting player, along with another young talent in Michael Porter Jr. I mean, we haven't seen this kid yet. He was at Missouri, except he had back problems that basically limited him until I think he only played one game in the SEC tournament. So I mean, he's still very new, to the game of basketball in terms of being 100% healthy. So I mean, again, all upside for this kid. Really, I mean, he's a knockdown shooter, can drive inside. Showed solid glimpses of playmaking. I mean, this team is very talented overall, and they have a whole lot of stars. Gary Harris as well. Paul Millsap. I mean, this team is full of stars that know how to get it done, that can play well together. So I don't see him getting it done this year, but I mean, this is definitely a team that I would not want to play early on, late. This is a well coached team too, and I believe Mike Malone's I believe it's Mike Malone. Check me if I'm wrong on that, but very good coach. I mean, this team is very solid, and in the next couple of years, I could definitely see them making some noise around the league.
Yeah, man, this team is dangerous. Like you said, Michael Porter Jr. I mean, it's been a minute from playing basketball, at 100%. So, this team, they're sitting at the third seed right now. They're at the third seed, going into the bubble, for the regular season. So, they could try and make a run this year again. Obviously, I don't believe that they will. But they have a chance, the way their team is structured, the way their team is about, they got guys at every position that could, fulfill what you need, like on the bench and off the bench. So decent team all around. Jokic, we all know him because a big man that can dribble, shoot, and play make all at the same time. So it's pretty extraordinary for a big man. Not gonna lie. Uh, you know, this team in a couple of years can make some noise, I believe. Um, Maybe they need a couple more pieces. I don't know, but they're definitely headed in the right direction in terms of, in basketball standpoint and where they are now. Then we got the Utah Jazz. They are also in the bubble. We all know about Jazz. They had problems earlier in the year. Rudy Gobert, shutting down the whole league. Got Corona. We all know about that. Uh, and gave it to Donovan Mitchell. Heard there was a feud between them. Uh, this Jazz team, they're sitting at the sixth spot right now, five spot right now. I'm sorry. What do you think this Jazz team could do something? Usually in the playoffs, they make a little bit of noise. A couple years ago, they beat OKC in the first round. So, and they got some newer pieces, I should say. They got Bogdanovich, they got Mike Conley. So, what do you think this Jazz team could do, if anything?
Personally, when I saw it, they got Bogdanovich and Mike Conley, in the offseason. I thought it was a very good pickup, and I thought that those two players could definitely add a lot to this team. But I don't think Mike Conley's really done anything really per se. I
Yeah,
mean, he's been a bust in my opinion. I mean, he's a solid defender. I'll give him that. Can definitely guard a point guard, but in terms of the offensive load, I mean, you're lucky to get more than 10 out of him basically a game. I mean, and on that team, I think they just need more scoring. I
yeah,
mean, Donovan Mitchell is good, but I mean, he's still a young talent. Still needs time to develop more. And I mean, Rudy Gobert, he gets it done on the defensive side, but again, not too much on the offensive side. Joe Ingles is a walking bucket, but again, I think they just need more scoring. They need to get it done, and right now, I mean, I don't see them making any noise. And I mean, sure, they did beat the Thunder, and they kind of always own the Thunder. I don't know what it is. Maybe a little rivalry there, but personally, I don't see the Jazz doing frankly anything at all. I see them getting bounced in the first round, and I see them continuing to get bounced if they don't make some changes.
yeah. I definitely agree with you. I saw Mike Conley, and Bogdanovich as well. Like good free agent signings. I thought they, maybe do something, but I feel like they need like a second scorer. Like Joe Ingles, he's great and all, but I don't think he's at the level. He's a little bit older. I think Donovan Mitchell needs another guy. I think they were looking at Mike Conley to do that, but he's a little bit older too, dealt with injuries. So I think they need like point guard or small forward that can come and help Donovan Mitchell out, deliver at the scoring load, not all on him, especially in clutch situations. You're seeing Donovan Mitchell make shots, you know, and their bench unit, it's all right. They got about Jordan Clarkson. That's it. Um, Royce O'Neal. That's it's not much. So I think they're heading in the right direction. Like they're definitely a solid team. Playoffs. They're one of those teams that make playoffs every year. Um, I think to go that next level, they're gonna need a second option more than Joe Ingles. I think he's a great third option. Him and Bogdanovich are a great third option, fourth option. I think that second option, you need, a younger point guard, maybe a younger three, to really make some noise, especially in the Western Conference. I think you just need another scoring option to boost that offense a little bit, take the load off Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
Then got Oklahoma City Thunder. Um, Talked briefly about them last week. Surprise, shocked the world. CP3, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Dennis Schroeder, Tilly Neal, Gallinari, Steven Adams. Great team. Solid team. Surprised everyone. they uh they are also in the bubble, ready to make some noise. I don't know if you've seen Chris Paul and SGA playing some horse.
I
Pretty
did see
hype.
that.
So I mean, Chris Paul looks ready, man. I'm telling you. This OKC team might do something in the playoffs. Maybe we've seen OKC getting bounced early. When they had Westbrook, gotten bounced out the first round a couple times. You think OKC can make it out the first round for the first time in the last couple of years?
Well, first off, I'd just like to say that I mean it looks like Chris Paul is having fun playing basketball again. Like it looks like he's enjoying it a lot more than he was on the Houston Rockets per se.
Right. Yeah, I definitely
Uh,
agree.
but also I did see him, shooting around and playing horse with, Shy, and I thought it was awesome. He was having fun, you know, staying in touch with the younger players, and I mean the team right now is set up very solid for the future. They have a whole lot of draft picks, and they got a young core right now. Minus Chris Paul, but Chris Paul definitely is, a leader, and he wants to win. He's natural born. He just wants to go out there and win. Unfortunately, hasn't done so in his career really, but I think maybe I think they have to do something here, pretty soon, because I don't think Chris Paul has too many years left. I mean, probably 5, maybe I'm saying, but
Yeah.
if they could guess, maybe another young emerging star or another superstar on that team, I mean, they have the tools to win. Chris Paul knows exactly what to do, and he's already led that team further than I would have thought. So to answer your question really about what they'll do in the bubble, I didn't think they'd even be here. So I'm kind of shocked, and it wouldn't shock me, if they were to even win a playoff series. But personally, if they were to go up against either the Lakers or Clippers, I don't see them winning that. But I mean, that'd be a tough game for them. I don't think they match up well, but it'd be definitely very interesting.
Yeah, it would be. It would be interesting. Like you said, Chris Paul, he's eager, hungry to win. Seasoned vet, so that helps, that team a lot. They're sitting at that 5 seed right now, tied actually with the Rockets at 40 and 24. So, with this 8 game regular season, you might see some trickling up and down, between that 4 and 7 spot. So, but right now they're playing the Jazz in the playoffs. Playoffs start today. They're playing the Jazz. I see them taking, Jazz 6 games.
And
It's Chris Paul.
I might even like the Thunder in that series, just because I mean, who knows what you're gonna get out of this? And this is, I mean, CP3 obviously knows what he's doing. So
Right. Yeah. And great leader, uh, gold medalist. That's about the only thing Chris Paul's got, an all-star. She's waiting to win that ring. So um, I definitely don't see them winning a ring, but, I definitely think he hopes to make that long playoff run. Doesn't got to deal with James Harden this year, ball hogging the ball, so he actually, can pass around and shoot, do what he wants to do. So that'll be exciting to see, what he can do. Hopefully he stays healthy as well, because
yeah,
the
for sure.
last couple seasons when he was at the Rockets, he's gotten hurt in playoffs, and that's hurt that team, the Rockets. So many times we were like, CP3 didn't get hurt, maybe beat the Warriors or stuff like that. So hopefully he can stay healthy this year and make the full playoff push until the Thunder get eliminated. Then you got the Trailblazers, Portland Trailblazers. Briefly talked about them as well. This team, actually, in my opinion, I think this team will make that 8 seed. That is a hot take right there. I think they will make that 8 seed. Either that 8 or 9 seed, one of those seeds. They are gonna play that playing game. They're gonna go to the playoffs. This team's, not you can say I wouldn't say stacked, but they're well rounded, and they got guys that have been hurt all season, and that hiatus helped them really. Like that's a team that really that hiatus helped. They got Yusuf Nurkic back. They got Zach Collins back. Dame's healthy. CJ's healthy. Melo's skinny. I mean, come on now. And then you got Hassan Whiteside, Kent Bazemore. This team is. We saw them last year with the Western Conference Finals. Obviously, get bounced by the Warriors, but I'm gonna take my chances with this team. Honestly, I mean, if Dame hasn't showed you anything in the last couple of years, especially last season, I mean, come on. And he's got help. Zach Collins, we know what he did last year in the playoffs, kind of shocked everyone. So, what's your opinion on this Trailblazers team?
I mean, I wouldn't even say it's necessarily really a hot take anymore. Um, I could definitely see this team making it to that 8 spot. You know, I mean, the Grizzlies team is still young. I mean, not saying they won't make it, but I mean, this Trailblazers team, like you said, you know, Dame, CJ, Melo, Nurkic, Collins, Hassan Whiteside, Trevor Ariza, Rodney Hood. I mean, those are just, you know, names right there. I mean, that is a solid team right there. Like you said, very well rounded. Not too many flaws, really, you could say, you know, in their team. You know, they got a solid center, solid backup center, you know, come off the bench. So they have depth. Um, and you know we've seen CJ, especially Dame, make some clutch shots. You know, I mean, Dame's got his whole clutch stretch, you know, on Paul George. I mean, against the Rockets back in I think the 2015 playoffs or something. I mean,
Oh,
man, you know, he's proven himself to be one of the, you know, the clutch shot makers in the game. You know, Melo has obviously been one of the best scorers in the game. You know, in his past. You know, maybe not now, but you know, we'll see if we can see a couple glimpses of that. And I mean, who knows? You know, if this team could, you know, make a little push, maybe take the Lakers to 5. You know, who knows?
yeah, I mean, they could take the Lakers to 5. I think. I don't think they'll win that series, obviously because of LeBron and Anthony Davis. They don't really have anybody that can guard them. But yeah, you never know. Um, and like you said, we've seen Dame, do his thing. Hopefully, Melo. I need that next Melo, that 12,
Oh,
13 Melo. If that Melo comes out,
yeah,
it might be GG's,
there
GG's for
might be
the
crowning a
rest
new
of those
champion.
teams. Yeah, they might make that 8 spot, and who knows? I mean, Melo and Bron, like that would be a good first round matchup. Like
I would
Bron,
absolutely.
like an old Melo, old Bron, not really, old Bron. He's still doing his thing, but
He's got gray in his beard, though. You know, he's old.
yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to see that matchup. So I think they're sitting 29-37 right now. So I think, yeah, that Grizzlies team, they're young, they're great. They got they're heading in the right direction. John Morant, Jaren Jackson, all of them. I just think that Trailblazers teams, they're more veterans, um, more rounded, go the distance. Uh, I just take that team over, any Pelicans, Grizzlies, any of those teams. So I definitely believe we'll have to see, find out what they can do. But from the practice I've seen, I mean, Melo looks good, Dame looks good, CJ looks good. So we will see.
That's
We
looking
will
good.
see next week here once the games get started. So it'll be exciting to see. And lastly, in this division, you got the Minnesota Timberwolves. Um, Not much to say about them. Not much to say about them. Saw yesterday though that the owner is trying to sell the team. Kevin Garnett's trying to buy the team. So I mean, maybe KG is gonna put the Timberwolves back on the map. But, this Timberwolves team, 19-45 was their record this year. That's pretty bad. Uh, yeah, Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell. That's about it. Um, Malik Beasley, Jared Culver, Evan Turner. These aren't guys that you expect make some noise. Um, what does this Timberwolves team need to do to kind of head in the right direction? Maybe get back to those KG days where they made it to the playoffs.
I mean, they just need a new culture. You know, I think they need to bring in, you know, if Kevin Garnett were to buy the team, I think that definitely gets some more recognition to, you know, the Timberwolves brand. But I mean, like you said, you know, Karl Anthony Towns is he's kind of soft. You know, he's not. I wouldn't want him as my starting center. It's not a knock on him. He's just I don't know. You
I
know,
definitely agree. I
comparing
agree.
him to you know even you know some of the other players that have came and gone, like he's just not the top of my list. You know, you got you know D'Lo, who's definitely a solid young player. Just I mean, with a team like this, you know, we saw him have a breakout year with that Nets team, but I mean, even myself, I believe. I mean, that's a whole nother topic for another day. But that Nets team, I thought was very well rounded, and I thought, I mean, definitely, could make some noise,
Oh yeah.
but I mean, frankly, this Timberwolves team is not that. I don't think they're close to that. And they like you said, just the people they have, no one stands out to you. Jake Layman, Naz Reid. I mean, James Johnson, Evan Turner. I mean, none of those guys are. I mean, no one's concerned. No one's losing sleep. You actually might be gaining sleep. You might sleep in a couple extra hours if you see you're playing the Timberwolves tomorrow. I mean, for real, man. These guys are bums. Like I think they want if they were to get a new culture, just a new style to the Timberwolves. I mean, because right now, I mean, they're missing so much, and I mean, they frankly need a lot more help.
That is true. They need a lot more help. Like you look at it, like yeah, I agree with you. Karl-Anthony Towns, he's a baby. I mean,
He
he's
is,
terrible. I've
bro.
never been a fan of Karl-Anthony Towns. Makes the All-Star team for the last 2 years. I don't know how is claimed as top five center in the league. Don't know what those people are talking about. But I mean, D'Lo, I see as their only bright spot. To be honest with you,
I,
they just need some pieces, need some work. Um, I don't know what they need to do. They just need to start all over, I guess. I don't even know. I don't know if they've tried that. Uh, they they aren't like you said, ain't nobody losing sleep over them. Ain't nobody really worried about them. I think they want to play the Timberwolves. That's like if LeBron said, "Oh, I'm playing the Timberwolves." Like, I ain't worried. Well, he ain't worried. So this Timberwolves team has a lot of work to do for the future if they want to even be in the playoffs. I'm not even saying contend to even be in the playoffs and even make a name for themselves. So yeah, that's that. So that's that northeast division, northwest division. So like I said, not too bad for the five teams in that bubble playoff contenders. So not too bad of a conference. We all know the Western Conference is good. So yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and break down these not break down NBA awards. NBA awards. They said that they are going to be announcing them during the playoffs, so it's kind of going to be like how it was before the whole like televised TV show and stuff like that. Um, which I think I'm like good. That's pretty cool. So maybe they'll introduce the awards. Maybe Adam Silver will be there to introduce the awards. To the players. Maybe Giannis or LeBron is gonna holster that MVP trophy up before they play. But let me hear your. Let's start with the rookie of the year. Let's start there. Who do you think your rookie of the year is this year? Who's your rookie?
if Zion played more games, he would have had my vote. But I don't think you can simply give it to him because I think he only played like 15 games. Like I mean, 12 games. It was not the amount of work that Ja Morant's put in this year, taking this Grizzlies team to the 8th spot in the Western Conference in his very first year.
Yeah,
I mean, that alone should speak volume. Besides his 21 and 7 that he's averaging. I mean, I think no disrespect to Zion because I mean they're both phenomenal players. Great young talent, but my vote's got to go to Ja Morant for rookie of the year.
yeah, I'm there right there with you, Ja. I wanted Ja to win it, the whole time. Zion was getting too much hype. I mean, Mark this last year, obviously. Once they got bounced out from Michigan State, everybody was like, "Oh, he's going number one. He's not even worried about it. He's not even worried about pro. He's going rookie of the year." Like, chill. Um, but yeah, man, Ja is averaging 17.6 points, uh, 3.5 rebounds, almost 7 assists, shooting 49%. So in your first year, man, that ain't bad. I mean, I'll take that. That's not bad, especially on that Grizzlies team. They were a struggling team, and to come in there and make some noise like how you did. We all know how explosive he is and stuff like that. So he's definitely got my vote. He's played the whole season as well. If the NBA gives Zion the Rookie of the Year, that just shows you how rigged this thing is. Like that would be so disappointing. I don't think they will. I think they're gonna, look at it and say he played more games, and he's been more healthier and stuff like that. So I definitely agree with you right there, and go Ja Morant for the Rookie of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year. Now I don't really know. I've seen people say Rudy Gobert again, but
Man did shut down the whole league, so I
he
mean,
did shut down the whole league. So I don't know if that's a joke or whatever, or if that's for real. Really, my opinion, I think it's between Anthony Davis and Giannis. I think it's those two are going between those two. They're going to win the Player of the Year. Um, what do you think?
I personally, I'm with you 100% there. I think it's between those two. I mean, my vote would have to go to Anthony Davis. Maybe it's because I've watched him more. Probably it is because I'm a little bit more biased. I've seen the Lakers play, but definitely with. I mean, when I've even seen him in person this year too. Just watching him. I mean, what he can do and like just the presence and how long he is and how fast he can get, into one area of the court. I mean, it's insane, besides his, 2.4 blocks that he's averaging and, a steal and a half and, two steals almost a game, like, I mean, those numbers right there should, tell you alone what type of presence he brings on the defensive side. Nothing to take away from, Giannis because I think, he's right there very easily, I think, could win it too. I think it's a very tight race between the two, but personally, I have to go Anthony Davis on my vote this year.
Okay, all right. I don't really. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really have a favorite to win the Defensive Player of the Year. I think it's definitely gonna be one of those two, Anthony Davis or Giannis, not Rudy Gobert. Um, I mean, if he does get it, that should be a lifetime award. A lifetime award, Defensive Player of the Year, literally. I mean, there's gonna be so many
Honestly.
jokes about that one. So, but I definitely believe it's between AD and Giannis for the Defensive Player of the Year. Um, six man of the year. Got some good six man this year. Dennis Schroeder from OKC Thunder. Got the Clippers, man. Got the Clippers. You already know Montrezl Harrell, Lou Williams, what they do. Um, my vote obviously is one of those Clippers guys.